Well, hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Good evening. I decided to get up off the floor tonight, and I am actually sitting on the couch. So let me reach over here and grab my cup. I have my, what do I have tonight? Grape cranapple juice. So, how are you this evening? Hello, come on in. Come on in. Hello there. It's good to see everyone. If anyone's coming tonight, good evening. It's good to be here and welcome. Welcome to Reflections. Reflections is a daily, well, not a daily, but it's an evening or weekly discussion for career minded women. Of course, the men are welcome to join in, but it is designed for career minded women. It's for women who are determined to win, that despite the obstacles, despite the challenges, the heartaches, the struggles, and all that comes in between, they are determined to hold their head up, hold their head high, stand on what they believe, what they deem important, and continue until they win. So, despite the tears, despite the heartaches, they keep fighting. So, welcome again to tonight's edition of Reflections. And this is our 21st episode. Yes, we're grown now. Yes. We are grown. So, welcome to Reflections. And tonight we're talking about seasons of life. We're talking about change and seasons of change that come into our life, and not just in our careers, but just in life in general. So come on in. We're going to have a great discussion. We're going to have a great time, and we just, get started. Just get started where we are. So, in this life, there are seasons where we go through ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and I'm talking about a whole season. It's not like you're going to always be on top. You're not going to always be winning. There are some failures along the way. There's some obstacles along the way. And I hate to call them failures because if you learn something, then it's not a failure. Um, if you're learning different things, then again, it's not a failure. So, but when, just things can happen and didn't quite turn out the way you wanted it to turn out. So, we go through that. We go through that in this lifetime. Um, there are times when we're on top and we're the ones that's giving all the encouragement. We're the cheerleaders. We're the one cheering everyone on. We're the ones who always has an encouraging word, and we're the life of the party. And then there's other times where someone has to pick us up, someone has to lift us up, someone has to encourage us, and you may not even have someone in your life that you can depend on to encourage you, but thank goodness for the internet now. Thank goodness for the internet, because you can get all kind of motivational and inspirational information from the internet now. So again, in this life, we go through these ebbs and flows and these ups and these downs and these twists and these turns and all kind of things that can happen in our lives. We can go through a season of plenty where we always have everything more than enough, to being in a state where you have barely enough, and again, and it's not always in monetary. It could be just encouragement. It could be health. It can, you've gone from a season where you were always healthy, never been sick, then bam, all of a sudden something happens, and now you are fighting for your life, you know, and you're fighting through that season of life until you get back to the other side, of maintaining a new, healthy, normal for you. So, we go through various seasons in this lifetime, and some would think that it's not fair or it is fair, and various things can happen. But, and the reason I'm kind of, on this tonight is because this weekend, I had an opportunity to go out with these lovely young ladies. We went out for a brunch after church, and we were just talking. And I was like, wow, when you look back over your life, and you kind of start thinking about some of the seasons of your life. And I can remember my weeping season. I can remember a season where I cried a lot. I won't say all the time, but I cried a lot. And I was sharing this story with some young ladies this weekend about the time when I was just hurting. I was hurting. I was literally watching my mother die a slow death, and I was her caregiver. And I was in my I was young in my 20s, and I've shared this before on this stream, but I'll share it again for anyone who's new. But during this particular time of my life, my mother was diagnosed with full blown AIDS, and it came during a time when AIDS was still thought of as the gay man's disease. It was still new, relatively new. And my mother was one of the first heterosexual women to get diagnosed with AIDS. And they didn't know at that time that it was in the blood. It was a blood transmission. Again, they thought it was at that time. They thought it was a gay man's disease. Not realizing it was a blood infection. Not realizing it was sexually transmitted or transmitted through fluids, bodily fluids. They didn't understand it at that time. So my mother had surgery to save her life on a life-threatening issue she had. And in that surgery, she had a blood transfusion, and that's where she received the HIV virus. Which, of course, by the time we finally figured out why she had all these new symptoms and why she was sick, by then it was full blown AIDS. So again, it was just at a time period where there was not a lot of information. It was at a time period where, again, all the resources and the support was in the gay community. It hadn't gone over into the heterosexual community, so we didn't have a lot of support, and it was a horrific time of our lives, And, then they were, because she was one of the first African Americans and one of the first heterosexual females with the disease, then, they wanted to use her for studies and almost like a lab rat, kind of thing. And let's try this drug and all this stuff. So it was just, oh my God. Anyway, all that to say that during that time, I was very active and pouring out, giving out at my church. I was really involved with youth that were caught up in the correctional facilities in Los Angeles, and I was pouring out. I was pouring out, going on my job. I was pouring out with my mom, and once you keep pouring out, and you don't put anything back in, you get empty. And during this time, I found a women's group that was like an hour drive away. It was in the valley somewhere, and I lived in on Crenshaw. Okay, so it was like an hour. It was an hour drive into the valley, and it was at that time when I showed up. I was the youngest, number one, and the only African American female there. But I tell you, these women, it was a Christian women's group, and oh my God, there was just such support and such encouragement. And at that time, it was what I needed to get through that season. And and I brought that up again to say that we go through seasons in this life, and that whatever you may be going through right now, it's a season, and it won't always be there. You won't always be in this season, be it good, be it hurtful, be it painful, be it bad. You won't always have that season. So my question tonight to everyone, to the internet, is what are you doing in this season that you have right now? Whether it's a hurtful season, whether it's a season where you're the one that's pouring out and giving, or maybe you're working. Maybe this is your work season. You putting in the work. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Someone chime in. There's a couple people watching tonight. Chime in. Talk to me. What are your comments? We go through these seasons. Some seasons, again, some seasons are hurtful, hurtful. When I lost my mother, at such a young age, to such a ugly disease at that time, they didn't have all the medication and treatments that they have today. Okay, back then it was a death sentence, and when she was first diagnosed, she was given 6 months. 2 years later, she took her last breath in my arms. So but what are you doing in your season, whatever season it is that you find yourself in right now? It could be, again, it could be a season where you have, you on top. Yes, I run this thing. But what are you doing to take care of yourself in this season? Because a lot of people, they'll be on top and they're just giving, but what are you putting back into yourself? Or maybe it's your time to work. I was talking to someone today, and he was sharing some days he works 8 hours, some 12, some 15. Where's the balance? And he knows me. He's one of my young mentees. He knows me, and he knows that I'm going to, always, number one, come from the heart, but I'm gonna shoot from the hip. And the bottom line is, where's the balance? Where's the balance? What are you doing to take care of yourself? Because maybe this is your season. Any parents out there, are you Uber drivers right now? That's the season. That's a season. Okay. I see one comment, um, saying no to things I don't want to do and not feeling bad about it. That's huge. That is huge. Yes. And that's about a part of taking care of yourself in this season, whatever that season is, because your season may be to, you may be taking care of kids, but you know what? It may be your season where you're taking care of parents, because in this life, it's seasons. You get new decades, you get new quarters, but it's new seasons, and maybe that's your season. So, learning to, like Terry just said, learning to tell people no and not feel bad about it. Hello. Because, especially as women, if we get enough strength to say no, then we feel guilty about it. We'll feel guilty about it because we've kind of been conditioned to, be those pleasers. Um, so learning to say no, and in addition to say no, not feeling guilty about my no. It's no because I don't even, you know what? It's just no. I don't even have to give you an explanation. If I give you an explanation, it's truly out the kindness of my heart because I don't have to give you an explanation. But nevertheless, keep it moving, Nate. Keep it moving. So, how's everyone? Let me see. Any more comments out here? Let's say hello to a few people. Hello, Miss Regina. How's the weather in Hawaii right now? It's trying to cool off some here in Jacksonville. Terry, I see you. Thank you for commenting. And I see Lee. Thank you for joining us. Hello, Miss Karen. Hello. Oh, I love this. Terry said when I was talking about, learning to say no and not responding. Why are people calling me? This is my second call. Ah, I'm trying to decline. Um, but nevertheless, let me send that. Okay. Um, she was saying when I said that learning to say no and not feel bad about it, and how I used to try to explain my no or my reason. Terry said no is a complete sentence. No, that's a complete sentence. I love it. And I agree. And I'm going to remember that, Terry. No is a complete sentence. Exactly. And some parents need to learn that one too when talking to their kids. Well, why? Because I said no. No is a complete sentence. That's all you need to know. The answer is no. So I love it. I love it. Thank you for that, Terry. That's a good one. That's a good one. I love it. So, but again, we all go through these seasons. We go through these seasons in lives where we're up, we're down, we're to the left, to the right. Sometimes your season is just to work, just to put in those hours right now. Sometimes your season is to work and be that working entrepreneur, or to work and go to school, or just go to school. What is your season? Whatever your season is so, I think it's just really important that we, identify what season is this for me? What season is of this? What season of my life is this? And again, and just know that not only will it all not always be like this, but also remember that we don't have all the time in the world for anything. So, we can, I was trying to think of the saying that I just saw is that, you can get another job, you can have another opportunity, but you don't get more time. You don't get more time. So, how are we using the time that we are getting? So, whether it's your plant season, whether it's your harvest season, whether it's your wait season, ooh, that wait season where it's not yet your time, but you have to continue to grind. A lot of people went into wait season with the pandemic. You were just about to take off. Yes, you had, laid your foundation. You had done the work. You did all the things that you thought was right to do to put you in a place that will, propel you into the future that you had created for yourself. And then the pandemic came and just shut all that down, shut it all down, And some have had to, kind of change, pivot. You had to pivot and do something a little differently. But now, as the seasons are changing and we're coming out of this, pandemic somewhat, um, you take everything that you learned during the pandemic and take it with you into this new season. So, but the key is, again, is really taking time and giving thought to, the season and what season you're in. Let's see. I also think we need to make sure we are not the people that others need to say no to because we're always pulling on them. I love it. I love it. Yes. Again, that was from Lee. Lee, that was excellent. Let me see if I can pin that. I love that. IKEA pin comment. I love that. Making sure it's not us. That but again, that goes back to your season. And even if you are in a season of hurt or season of lack, it's important to do that self-reflection and figure out, well, how did I get here? How do I get out of this? What's next? Um, what are some other things that I can do to generate more, whatever it is that I need, be it income, be it encouragement, because have you ever had people in your life where you they come with the same thing every time, and again, it's not even always money. They just come with the same sad story, and they just can't find a way to dig themselves out. um Sometimes, come on now, let's just be honest, sometimes people need counseling. It's true, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like we would tell someone you need to go to a doctor about that infection on your leg. We need to be able to tell people that you need to go see a counselor to help you process, learn new life management skills, learn new strategies of communication. Maybe your communication skills, oh, I don't want to say that, but maybe they suck. Oh my God. If people, I just got a stupid text. But if everything that comes out of your mouth has to be negative, if everything that comes out of your mouth has to tear people down, maybe it's you. So maybe, that it may be your season to clean up your own house. That could be your season. We all should have had that. We all should go through that season quarterly. And I don't mean quarter of life every 25 years. I'm talking about every 3 months, every 4 months. I guess a quarter is 4 months. Every 4 months, clean out our own mindset. Mm. Sometimes we need to go through our phones and determine, okay, I need to block you. Okay, this one need to be blocked. This one need to be blocked. That's some good stuff. But sometimes we need to go through our playlist. What are we listening to? What kind of music are we listening to? What who are the motivational speakers we're listening to, if any? So sometimes we just need to. It may be our season to clean up, clean your own house, clean your own house. Where's my cup? Clean your own house. So whatever your season is, sometimes we wasted time. We just wasted time. Have you ever wasted time on people, relationships, money, anybody? Or I'm the only one? Oh, I'm the only one. I'm the only one who's ever wasted time. Okay, well, all right. But sometimes we gotta do like Auntie Maxine Waters said. She said, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time. So maybe this is your season to reclaim your time. Reclaim your time. So, and what does reclaiming your time mean? It means that again, once we've lost time, we can't get it back. But when we're reclaiming our time means that we are going to be focused. We are going to be diligent on, the things that we should be focused on right now. And again, whatever the season is that you are in, that we all go through various season, whatever season it is that you are in, it's important that you take the time to make sure that you're managing you. Let's see, Lee said also the myth that counseling is just for problems and not for the people who also just want to be better. I agree with you 100%, Lee. And when I think of counseling, I think of counseling just like coaching. I call it life coaching. And just like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Steph Curry, they all have coaches. These are phenomenal athletes who have coaches. Serena Williams had a coach, have coaches. You know, you also can have coaches that can help you navigate life. And that's just the real. You can have coaches to help you navigate life, to help you establish goals, to help you find that balance that you need in your life. Because I know for me, I will go hard. I go hard in whatever I'm doing. And to the point where if I'm working on a project, I can stay up all night working on it. I can just go, go, go. And I have to remember though that, these bodies need rest. You need to eat, you need rest, you need exercise. So just helping me establish, a plan and stop. Oh, and I'm notorious for putting myself on these ridiculous deadlines. Oh my gosh. I'll say that I'm going to do 5 projects. Like right now, right now, I have a good 6 projects going, 4 of which are on the job. And I will put, I'm saying, because right now, even right now, I have a goal that I'm going to complete everything before Christmas break. And it's ambitious, but I originally had 11 projects. So cutting it down to 6, is, in my opinion, is a great strategy to help me maintain balance. To maintain balance, because otherwise I would stress myself out, freak out, fizzle out, trying to hold all 11 things together. But I learned that strategy from speaking with a life coach asking me, why are you trying to do everything today? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know. Where does that come from? What's driving that? And a life coach can help you navigate those things. So, like Lee said, it's not about just having, because there are problems in life. It's not about that, but it's about learning strategies, just like these athletes learn new strategies to be a better athlete. Going to a life coach or a life counselor can give you strategies to build a better life. Now, I did not see this coming. I did not think this is the direction this life was going to go into, but it is what it is. And again, we're talking about seasons and seasons of life and where you are in life right now. And wherever you are in life right now, whatever this season is for you, enjoy the moment. And I know it's hard to enjoy the moment if this is your season of, like when I shared at the beginning, my season of tears. My season of tears. Yes, it was horrible. I, I've already shared that. It was horrible. But during that time, I saw so much love, so much support, and not just in my regular, my family unit, but even when, my mom and I told you, my mom was one of the first heterosexual females to be diagnosed with AIDS. There was almost nothing available in the community as far as support, guidance, health care. So we had to turn to the gay community in Hollywood, California. And we received so much love. So much love. So during saying that to say that even in a hard time, when we can take the time to find balance and take the time to take care of ourselves, then we can find some little beautiful nuggets during that time period. And during that time period, I found so much love and support from the community at large, various pockets, my church community, my family, just various communities. So I found so much love. So whatever season it is that you're in, you want to, just find your balance, try to find love. And even like I said, even if your season right now is all you are is an Uber driver for your kids, Lord have mercy. I remember those days. Okay. Where to today, ma'am? Where to today, sir? And that's all you're doing is just drive to hear that. But you know what? Enjoy those moments. Turn on the music and sing loud with your kids. Okay, enjoy those moments because the season is going to change. They grow up, they move out, and now you're just excited when you get a phone call. Sometimes. Sometimes. I was talking to my daughter today and I was telling her, I was so excited today. I was thinking about, she said, oh, you were thinking about you going to see me next week for Thanksgiving. And I was like, well, no, but okay, but that wasn't what I was excited about. But anyway, that's just a sidebar. Anyway, any other comments? Let's see. Terry says, so true. There are no do-overs in life. There not. There aren't any. There aren't any. So I appreciate you all. I thank you for your comments on Facebook. I see you out there, Mr. Pickett. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Thank you. That's Terrence Pickett's Coffee Time. I appreciate you. And that's all that I have this evening, everyone. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for joining us on reflections. Remember, reflect. Oh yeah, I didn't do a shout. I didn't do my own shout out. So please stop by my store at drnaita.myshopify.com and order your t-shirts for the ladies in your life. You can also visit my website at drnaita.com. And just remember that Reflections of Career Minded Women, where we are devoted and dedicated to winning um, despite what obstacles we may face, despite what's going on in our life. We are committed we to stand strong, to hold our head up, and despite the tears and the struggles, we continue to smile. So thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening.